Welcome everyone. My name is Bojan Petkovic. Thank you for introduction. I'm happy to see you all here in such a big number, and we are going to discuss about very interesting application of advanced technology on a landmark project of construction of Osijek Stadium on the area of Pampas near Osijek. Just few words about the project itself. I'm sure that all of you know about the size and the scope of the project, but just some quick words about this. So we are talking about a project which duration of the construction and the design phase lasted for 3.5 years. The total budget of the project was 65 million euros. And the stadium itself, as it was mentioned also a few seconds before, is categorized as a UEFA 4 category. This is the elite category of the stadiums. Such stadiums are the one which hosted the World Cup in Qatar, and also the most well-known stadiums across the Europe also have the UEFA 4 category. The capacity of the stadium is 13,005 seats. The stadium was finished, as you know, for the opening of this football season. And during the construction site, the supervisor company was a consortium of companies, Honcho and Respecting. Planradar is the application, or let's better call it a platform nowadays. I will show later on why I mean a platform. Was implemented on this project during the construction site, the construction progress. What we always like to talk about are the benefits of such an implementation. So there are different ways how we can define benefits from the projects and from the implementation of the technology. And usually when we talk about applications which are increasing productivity, we need to calculate some time. This time is usually savings. But this savings needs to be somehow also calculated in terms of the value, which is either a money or some increase of value in terms of the quality. Here, we are not talking about marketing aspects of Planradar by ourselves. We are talking about exact statements from the supervisor company, which say that they saved 10,000 euros per engineer per year. So this is kind of a big number, I must say, right? How they came up to this number. So there was a simple calculation. So if every engineer needs to go on site, let's say on average once a day, how much time he needs to save? Based on the statement from our clients, they said they save around between 45 and 50 minutes per day. So if they save this, how much is the cost of this engineer? Then you can easily come to the calculation that 10,000 euros per year is the savings. Of course, you're not going to send now these people home because they saved you 1 hour per day. So that means that apart only from these benefits as the savings in time, there is also additional quality aspect and additional quality output that you as a supervision engineer is giving to your investor and also to your general contractor. How exactly this was done? Here you can see 4 different pictures, and I want to guide you through very simple process how we came to this 10,000 euro saving and better output. On the first big slide here, you can see the digital plan, not in 3D, in 2D. So it was not a BIM model, it was a 2D plan. So the first step that the client, with the help of us, if needed, should do is import the digital plans inside of the platform. It's very easy and seamless process. It lasts a couple of seconds. The moment the plans are there, they are available for everyone who is using the platform. The ones who are creating such a notes, or we call them tickets, or for someone who is resolving these things. On all of these pictures, you see one thing which is common for all of them, and this is a mobile. You see a tablet, you see a mobile phone, you see people on site holding these mobile phones. So the moment they uploaded all of these pictures, all of these plans, they can take this tablet, they can take their mobile phone, and they can actually go on site. So now they are supervising, now they are doing inspections. What exactly they need to do? They need to point out the problem, or a note, or request for information, or just a comment. They can point out exactly on the plan. They can add the picture if needed, as you can see there, easily using a tablet. And most importantly, they need to do this in offline mode, because if the location of the in this case stadium is a little bit dislocated from the very cool Wi-Fi signal and very fast Wi-Fi signal, then you have a bit of an issue, right? So you need to work it in the offline mode. The moment you do it, you have all the necessary tools needed for a report. So with a one click, you create a report which you can send to whoever is in a need for that. The main supervisors in this project, Mr. Hrvoje Sučić, told us that one of the challenges that they had also during this project was different stakeholders who were not coming from the same mother language environment, let's call it like that, right? So we had stakeholders from the English-speaking area, from a Hungarian-speaking area, so they need to communicate very fast, and they need to communicate basically in a real time. Using a platform like Planradar, they can assign the ticket, they can give it as them to a note in English or in Hungarian language, and at that same moment, the respected assignee or a person can give the feedback back, and the solution is provided much, much faster. During the construction part of this project, the supervisors told us that they figured out around 200 of these notes per day. So you can imagine how many of those things, how many hours actually Planradar saved for them. Why this is very important and why we are always pointing out all of these benefits of using such a platform like Planradar is because of the following graph. And I want to go more into this bigger aspect of the industry, why it is very important to point out successful cases like we had with the Osijek Stadium. The graph, what you can see here, is a productivity graph between the different industries. The red line, the bottom line, is the productivity of the construction industry, and the upper line, what you can see in gray, is manufacturing. This graph was from 2015 or 2017. I don't know exactly the 2017 is the big graph, the 2015 is the left one. But the relations between industries are pretty much the same. So we have still a big gap to bridge in order to get to the same level of productivity. So all of these people which were doing these things which I showed using Planradar were basically bridging the gap of lack of productivity using the different tools. I always, during my presentation, like to point out this graph. And earlier today, we had a great presentation also from our colleagues from Volume 3. They showed something similar, where there is a loss of digital information. And I think this graph is also pretty much aligned on that. What you can see there is how information is lost in a different stages of the life cycle of the building. So the first stage, of course, you have acquisition, and then you have design. Between acquisition and design, you lose some part of information, right? Then you have a design and you have a planning. Between that, you lose some part of information. Then you have a planning, and then you have construction, where you lose a huge amount of information. Coming back to our case of Osijek Stadium, this is exactly the part where we see the most benefit of a tool like Planradar on-site management, where the loss of digital information should be prevented, because using a platform like that directly on site, we can prevent, as we said, more than 2,000 nodes per day. Different companies, as you all know, are not ready to go through the digital transformation all at once. You're all here today because you believe in the digital transformation, but it's not expected or it's not to expect that all of you will embrace the digital transformation right away, right? On the right corner there, you see a graph which is called diffusion of innovation. So what does this diffusion of innovation means? It means that there are always certain companies or certain people which are going to be innovator in everything. Whatever you put in front of them, this robot, call Spot, or whatever, they are going to embrace it immediately, right? Regardless of anything what you tell them, because they just love it. Then you have these early adopters who understand the benefits, they would like to take the advantage of this. They are not scared, but they are not, as easygoing in terms of innovation as innovators. And then you have this early majority, and between the early adopters and early majority, you have this chasm, right? Which is a critical point. The critical point until the whole industry goes through the digital transformation. In my personal opinion, I think the guys from Honcho and Respecting, they are early adopters. The early adopters are the companies who are basically going to they're going to have the better market position, let's put it like that, in front of everyone else. So are we talking about Planradar, are we talking about any other tool, doesn't matter. The faster you embrace the digital solution, the better position on the market you will have, right? Because these guys later will come, sooner or later, right? Late majority and laggers will always be 50% of people. So this is why if you ask yourself, why should I embrace the digital technology if my competitor is still not using, or why should I do it if my neighbor is not using, just remember of this diffusion of innovation graph. Very important point to mention here is that role of innovation is within the top management. Don't expect that there is going to be some junior guy who is going to put the innovation and a digital tool inside of your company and then everything is going to be nice and pink. It's not the case, right? So there needs to be a role of all of you who are the managers and top managers of the companies to really live the innovation and the benefits and to trust the benefits of the digital tools, like our colleague and a client from Honcho, Mr. Hrvoje did. The problem that all of you face, and this is one of the things that I always like to point out, is that there are a lot of different tools out there, right? On the left side, what you can see on the graph is a constellation of the different point solutions, and it's very hard to choose which solution you need to choose in order to benefit in your business, because every business is different. What we did as Planradar is we created something what we call a marketplace, Planradar Marketplace, or call it Planradar Connect, where we are in a position without any API integrations and without you investing in system integrators to connect different tools who need to be prerequisite is that they are cloud tools in one platform, and therefore they can communicate with each other without need to do any API system integrations, right? This is called a no-code integration through the different applications. Just a few words about us, about Planradar. So who benefit from our tool? Basically, in this case, the case study, we see the construction supervisors. We also see that the benefit was from the general contractor who received the information in English language very fast. Also, the benefit was from the investor because at the end of the project, they had all the information at one place. Throughout the whole life cycle of the building, you can use the different tools, Planradar as well. And these are just few words and few topics about us. More than 400 employees worldwide and more than 120,000 different users. Osijek Stadium is not only project that we worked on and that we implemented our tool. There are a couple of more landmark projects, which I'm going to just point out. Hotel complex, You all know about Pelješac Bridge. I think it was a topic last DigiDeck. There are also different office buildings, shopping malls, as well as infrastructure and oil and gas projects. I hope my presentation was interesting. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the day at DigiDeck, and thank you very much.